Hello everyone, welcome to UN Digital class. So in today lecture of data science, I am going to discuss about some other decision making statements. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed about if statement and if else statement, and how the if else statements is used. We have also seen it with syntax and with some examples. So basically the decision making statements are used to perform some type of operations on based on the some type of decisions, or you can say on basis of some conditions, and that condition is given in the if statement, and if that condition will stays true, then whatever statements is written within the if block, that will be executed. And if the condition which is given in that if statement, if that gives the result as false, then there is also some statements which is written inside the else block, that statements will be executed. So in today's lecture we will discuss another type of decision making statement, that is our switch statement. That means here we can give multiple number of cases, and when we will choose that case, then within that case whatever we have written the statements, that will be executed. So we will see about that, and also an example regarding the if else statements. So let us go to our lecture. So first let us discuss an example which is related to if else statement, or you can say here we have used multiple if else statements, and within one if statement we write another if else statement, and like this. So this program is basically used to check whether the entered year is a leap year or not. And you have know the leap year concept. That means the leap year means we have to enter a year. That means the entered year, if it is divisible by 400 or 400, or basically the concept is our, if that year is divisible by 4, then the year is a leap year, or that year is not a leap year. So we have to implement that concept in the R programming, and to implement that we use the if statement. And here let us start our example. This is the syntax of writing the comment lines. So comment line is basically used, and the comment line is written to give some idea about the program, and the statements which are written inside the comment line, that will be not executed, or you can say that will be not interpreted by the R interpreter. And the syntax of writing the comment line, and here is our single line comment, and the syntax of writing that is our by providing hash symbol before the statement, and then this is our R4. So first this is our vector year, and in this we have entered a year. That means the user has to enter a year, and then there is a program which will give the result that the entered year is a leap year or not. So the syntax of entering an input from the user is this. The syntax is our read line prompt enter a year. So here also you can the syntax of writing is our print, and print means we can only display the statements which are written inside that. But here we have written a function called as readline. About the function I will discuss in our coming lectures, but here only I have given, and we used only this function to input a value or to give a value dynamically. So here the readline function is used to provide or give the syntax of entering a value from the user. So this is the syntax readline prompt equals to enter a year. That means user has to enter a year as per his choice. And then here is another, it is called as integer. You can also divide this statement in two parts, like y, I will write y equals to readline prompt enter a year. Then whatever the value is entered by the user, that will be changed or that will be transferred into an integer value. So, this function is basically used, that means as integer is used to change the format of the input to integer value. So, here directly you can write or indirectly you can write like y equals to read line prompt enter a year, that means whatever input we have entered that will be stored in y vector, and then you will write year as integer within the parenthesis y. That will be given the same result as this line. Then let the user enter one value like here. So it will display that enter a year. So it will let the user enter 1900. So 1900, then it will go for this. This is a condition, and if statement is written here. So here modulus 4 equals to 0 or not. That means whatever the year it is entered, that means what the value is entered 1900. So now the vector year it contains 1900, and then whatever the content of this, that will be checked, that will be modulo with the 4, and the result is equals to 0 or not. If it is equals to 0, then it will go for the next condition like this. And as you can see here, user entered 1900. So it will first check, that means 1900 modulus 4 equals to 0 or not. So as you can see that the 1900 is basically, it is not divisible by 4. So then that's why it is given as 1900 is not a leap year. But here also some other conditions. So if the condition stays false, that means 1900 is not divisible by 4. That's why the result, or you can say the remainder is not 0. So it will go for next condition, that means it will here. So you can see here that if this statement will stay true, as I have told you in my previous lectures, that if the condition will be true, then it will go for the if statement's body. Otherwise it will comes outside of the if statement body, and it will execute the statements which are written inside the else. So before that, let me discuss these examples of writing the if statement and the else. So here you can see this if statement contains one condition, and this if statement contains another condition, here is another, and this else statements is within this, it is coming under this if, that means this else is for this if, and this is the closing braces of this second if statement, and then this is the second else statements for the second if statement, and then this is another else statement, it is a else statement for first if. So if first we have checked that 1900 is not divisible by 4, so it will go for the else statement, and which else statement? The else statement is here. Okay, this else statement is coming under the body of this if statement. That's why these both else statements will not be executed. And then else print paste year is not a leap year. That means here we will provide, or you can say here the value will be displayed, that means 1900 is not a leap year. Then next, let the user will input or enter another year, that is our 2000. Then how it will be executed? So first it will check with 4, that means to 2000 modulo 4 equals to 0, yes it is true. Then it will goes inside the if body. Then here modulus 100 equals to 0, yes it is true, that means 2000 is divisible by 100, yes it is true. Then it will go for this statement's body, then the next statement contains if year modulus 400 equals to 0, that means the year whatever it contains 2000 modulus 400 equals to 0, yes, it is true. Then print paste year is a leap year. So here it will be displayed that year is a leap year and year is a 2000. So year is leap year. So these statements will be executed. So let's take another example which is divisible by 4 and 100, but it is not divisible by 4,000. Sorry, 400. Then how it will be executed? So let's the entered year is divisible by 4 and it is equals to 0, and then that year is also divisible by 100, and then it will go for this 400 and the year it is entered, it is not divisible by 400. Then how it will be given? That means here else, this is the else part, that year is not a leap year. And if it is divisible by 4 but it is not divisible by 100, then how it will be given? That it will divide by 4, that means here, so this else part is coming under here. So paste year is a leap year. So this is the syntax of writing an if else statements within one another. This is an example and this is the output. So if a leap year is divisible by 400 and 400, then it is a leap year. So next is our R switch statement. So a switch statement allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values, and then each value is called as a case, and the variable being switched on is checked for each case. That means whatever expression we have written here, that will be checked for each of these cases. So the syntax of writing the switch statements in the R programming like this, that means switch, and within the parenthesis the first statement what we have given is our expression, and then in the second case 1, case 2 and case 3. So do not change the format of writing this. And then in the other programming languages, we like switch, within that we entered the case number either in some integer or some character values, and on the basis of that character it will choose the case. Okay? But in this R programming, the syntax of writing the switch statement is like this. So the following rules are applied to a switch statement. So if the value of the expression is not a character string, so it will be changed its format to the integer. And then if you can have any number of case statements within a switch, that means there is no limit of writing the number of cases within the switch statements. You can write any number of case statement within a switch, and each case is followed by a value to be compared to and a colon like this. Here you can see that a case, and you have to write or you have to give a number, an integer, it will be compared to, and then if the value of an integer is between 1 and an argument, that means -1, so the maximum number of arguments you can say, then the corresponding element of case condition is evaluated and the result will be written. Then if expression evaluates to a character string, then that string is matched exactly to the names of the elements, and I will check it with an example let. So before that, let me discuss about the flow diagram. So in the flow diagram there is one expression, and on the basis of that expression the cases will be chosen, and within the cases there are some block of statements which is written and that will be executed if the case satisfied or it compares to with this expression, and if any one of the cases will not be equal with the expression, then the default condition will be executed. So let us see this example, that switch, as I have told you, that switch first one is our expression, and then here are some values we have given, and here you can see that if expression evaluates to a character string, then that string is matched exactly to the name of the element. That means if we have written that string here, like if we like that switch second, suppose, then here it will compare with every characters we have entered within this switch, and these are the cases. And then if there is more than one match, the first matching element is returned. That means we can also enter similar type of characters or similar type of string within that switch statements. But if there are multiple matches, then the switch statements will return the first matching element, and no default argument is available here. So, in the case of no match, if there is a unnamed element of its value is returned, if there is more than one such argument, an error is returned. Okay. So, next is let us see here that switch 3, first, second, third and fourth, and here we have written that expression. So, this is our case 1, first, case 2 second, case 2 third, case and case in the case 4 we have entered the string value as fourth. So, the expression it will be matched with the cases. So, the case value 3 it will be print that. So, it will return, that means this switch statement will return according to the expression. So, expression is our 3. So, it will return the value which is stored as the third string. So, that will be third. So, it will be displayed on the monitor, it is our third. But here if you will write switch 5, and here we are having only 4 number of elements within that block. If we write in 5, then there will be no match. Then what will be written? It will print x, it is true, but what will return, whatever the value it will return, it will be stored in x. So, if we write 5, then it will return null, because there is no such match will be found within the switch statement. So, this is all about our today class. In today lecture, we have discussed about the switch statement and an example related to if-else statement, and in the next class we will discuss about the looping concept, and till then if you have any doubt you can mention it in the comment section. Then keep watching. Thank you.